Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Top back into the video today, and today we're going to be going over my biggest takeaways from the Houston Rockets Media Day. As yesterday, the Houston Rockets hosted Media Day, and 12 of the Houston Rockets players talked to media, and we're going to be going over my biggest takeaways from two of the Rockets players talking to the media. And two of those players are two of the biggest free agency additions, and that's Dillon Brooks and Jeff Green. Of course, the biggest free agency, the two biggest ones are Dillon Brooks and Fred VanVleet, but Jeff Green is right there next to them because the veteran leadership that Jeff Green will be or will bring in to this Rockets team after adding in a guy who has 17 years of or going into his 17th year, so 16. He's already played 16 seasons. Going into his 17th year, has that experience. Just won an NBA championship. That's going to be key to this Rockets team that is full of young talent. And I really liked what I heard from Jeff Green today in his interview and talking with the media. I'm going to start with Dillon Brooks, and then I'm going to go over to Jeff Green. So I have 3 takeaways from Dillon Brooks, and I believe 4 or 5 from Jeff Green. So Dillon Brooks was asked about, what he's going to be on the defensive end. He said, I'm going to be the best defensive player I can be, whether it's guarding the other team's best player or diving on loose balls. Listed a couple other things that he can be to be good on defense. He was also asked, stuff he knew about this Rockets team before, or, what he noticed about this Rockets team before he signed with them. Said, I love the group, a lot of young talent, a lot of great young talent, great offensively with Jabari, Jalen Green, and Al P, but they didn't know how to finish games last year, and that's something we're going to work on this year. Then he was asked about his goals this season. He said, baby steps. Every day is a learning lesson. The potential is there. It's going to be a slow process, but we're getting better every day. Now, Jeff Green, I really loved what I heard from Jeff Green in his interview. So here's what he said when he was asked on what he brings to the table. This is. He said experience. This being my 17th year, winning the championship last year, being in the playoffs many years, and teaching these guys what it takes to be a true professional. I really agree there with Jeff. I think he's going to be a great addition to this team. Already playing for this team a couple years ago, but this time, this is a little bit of a different team. Last year, he was adding in and trying to compete for an NBA championship with the Houston Rockets in the 2019-20 season. Now he's trying to be a mentor to these young guys, and also try to maybe even help the Rockets on the court as well. Because Jeff can still hoop. He's a good 3-point shooter, solid defender, nice stretch big. So he's going to be great for the Rockets off the court, but he's going to be good for the Rockets on the court as well. And then he was asked about Nikola Jokic and Alperen Sengun with all the comparisons to Rocket center Alperen Sengun and Nuggets superstar, best player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic, who Jeff won the NBA championship with last year. He was sort of asked about any comparisons he's seen between those two guys, which is those two guys Alp's game has always been compared to Jokic. So their games are very similar. They both have assets as a big, their shooting ability, their way to see the floor, their passing ability. He's been asking, and when he's saying this, he's talking about Alperen Sengun. He's been asking me questions how Joker prepares in his ability in his daily routine. So he's interested. I guess he's heard those comparisons over the past couple years. Then he was asked, just like pretty much almost every player on this team, what his goal is for this team this year. I always think playoffs. I think we have what it takes to be in the playoffs with the young guys we have. And then he was asked about Coach Udoka. I had Ime when I was in Brooklyn. He was an assistant there. He's very straightforward. I think that the best way to be, that's the best way to be. He tells you the truth, and that's what he's about. Also, he played the game. He brings that into his coaching style. Whenever player was asked about Coach Udoka today, and from the media, to these players. These players had nothing but good things to say about Coach Udoka, and a couple of them, like Jeff Green and Boban Marjanovic, ironically, two of the two oldest guys on this team, Jeff Green, 37, Boban, 35, were both coached by Ime Udoka. Neither of them were, coached by Ime as a head coach, but as an assistant. When Ime was in Brooklyn, he coached Jeff Green, and when he was an assistant with the San Antonio Spurs, he also coached Boban Marjanovic. So two guys on this team who they signed in free agency, re-signing Boban and signing Jeff Green to, I think, a 2-year deal. Two of the guys like that have been coached by Coach Udoka in the past. So I really liked what we heard from these two guys in Media Day with Jeff Green and Dillon Brooks, two of the biggest free agency signings for this team this year. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoy them, your thoughts, and peace out. Go Rockets.